DividendData.com is a research and tracking software for the long-term dividend investor. In this video, I'll walk through all the features and explain how to set up a new account. Here's the main dashboard. You have your navigation bar on the left side with links to all the different pages. You have your command bar on the top with buttons to create a portfolio, add stocks to a portfolio, add received dividends to a portfolio, and bulk upload stocks and dividends. We'll explain these features later in the video. On the home page, you have the Getting Started instructions for new users and a link to this tutorial video. This is my portfolio page. You can select this drop-down to cycle through different accounts. I'll switch to test, for example. This is an empty account and shows what it looks like before you add stocks. Now back to my account. We can see the current value of my portfolio and my total return. You can export your portfolio. This downloads a .csv file containing all the data in your account. You can edit the existing stocks in your portfolio. Select a stock and change the number of bought shares, drip shares, and total cost. You can also delete stocks. This is done by selecting a single stock or checking the box to delete all the stocks in your account. So here you can see this table displays my entire portfolio. You can see your total shares and drip shares, which are the shares earned from reinvesting dividends. There's the daily price data of the stocks, the cost per share, total value, dollars invested, and the gain or loss. If I scroll down, we can see my account's diversification by sector and the individual stocks that make up said sector. While on the portfolio page, if we switch to the activity tab, you can see a list of all the transactions of you adding stocks to your account. You can filter by the various options. If you click and select, then you can choose to delete specific entries. This is useful if you incorrectly entered the data. Still in the portfolio page, if we switch to the settings tab, you can update the dollars invested variable for your account. The reason for this being here is that when you sell stocks and reinvest your capital gains or reinvest collected dividends, you don't want that to be a part of your cost. The earned dividends and capital gains are a part of your total return. So you input the initial dollars you invested in your portfolio. Also, you can delete your entire account. This removes all the data and the option from the drop-down menu. It also deletes from the income page as well. Speaking of the income page, let's check that out. So again, you can switch accounts via the drop-down menu. You can export the dividend history. This gives you a .csv file of all your dividends. You can delete dividends, delete all associated with a stock, or delete all in the account. This graph shows your dividends earned in each month. The orange line is a 3-month rolling average. This gives you a good view of overall growth. I also display the total earned dividends, dividends earned year to date, current 3-month rolling average, and annual estimate. Your history of earned dividends by stock is then shown in the table below. The diversification of your account's earned income can be seen here. On the income page, if you go to the activity tab, you can see all the individual dividends received. You can export your history, filter by given variables, or individually select dividends and delete them. The delete is useful if you mess up a dividend entry. Scrolling back up, you can switch to the upcoming dividends tab. This shows currently declared dividends that you will soon be paid. On the settings tab, you can delete the account. This removes all data and the account from the dropdown. Keep in mind, this also deletes the associated account for your portfolio page. Now let's look at the news page. By default, this shows you current news stories about the entire market, which you can click and open. You can filter this by specific stocks in your portfolio to get news on your stocks. For example, you can click on Disney and get news related to Disney. The valuation page provides you multiple tools to calculate the intrinsic value of a stock. This includes Ben Graham's calculator, discounted cash flow, and the dividend discount model. I made videos explaining this in the past. The research page is my personal favorite. You can search for a stock and it'll bring up all its associated data. You can get an overview, stock price history, earnings history, and all the details about the company. You can look at the financial statements of the company, such as the income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow. You can look at the key graphs for revenue, net income, free cash flow, margins, assets and liabilities, shares outstanding, and stock splits. For each, I provided a quarterly and annual view with graphs and tables displaying the data. There's also unique charts for each tab, such as price to sales ratio for revenue. I also calculated the 1, 3, 5, and 10-year compound annual growth rate for each applicable metric. This is shown in the growth summary. This section of the research page has some gems and is where I like to spend time when researching stocks. The dividend page gives a summary of dividend growth, a graph of the dividend history, and a table showing the data for each specific dividend. It also shows the individual growth rate when they increase dividends. It shows the historical dividend yield on cost and the annual payout ratio. Finally, there is the general profile on the company. Back to the navigation bar. There's videos, which links to my YouTube channel, Discord chat, which links to my Dividend Investing Discord, support email, which lets you send an email to ask questions or get help with your account. Also, a page called Payment Settings, which lets you manage your subscription to dividenddata.com. Okay, so that's all the current features of the website. Now I'm going to walk you through the process of creating an account and uploading your data. You go to dividenddata.com and hit the login button. This will bring you to the user sign-in portal. If you already have an account, you just log in. If you're creating an account, you click sign up and then enter an email and password. After the initial loading, your homepage will appear. Currently, this displays a text guide for how to create a portfolio and upload your data. All main features are locked until you pay. Navigate to a new payment settings page, select a plan, and follow the checkout process. After a successful checkout, dividenddata.com will reload and you'll have access to the full set of features. Step 1. Create a portfolio. Click Add Portfolio. Enter your desired name in the text field labeled Account Name. Click Update. Upon successful submission, the page will reload. Step 2. Add data to portfolio. Now this is important. For initial setup, it's much easier to use bulk upload. Let's add stocks first. So you're going to click bulk upload, select an account from the drop-down menu, choose the type of bulk upload, bulk stocks loads stocks, and bulk dividends loads dividends. Select bulk stocks. You will need to create a .csv file containing your stocks. This stands for comma separated values, which is a method of storing a spreadsheet. You can create this in any spreadsheet software such as Microsoft Excel, Google Sheets, Apple Numbers, etc. You will need to format your spreadsheet. You should look at my provided example labeled bulk stocks. Column A is the stock ticker. Example, MSFT, KO, XOM. Column B is the number of shares. This should be a number and can include decimals. Column C is the total cost. This is the total cost to acquire the number of shares mentioned in column B. This is not the cost per share. This is a pure number and can include decimals or commas. Do not enter the $ before the number. Column D represents whether these shares were from dividend reinvestment or outright purchase. If from dividend reinvestment, put yes. If purchased outright, put no. You will obtain this data from your brokerage. There are multiple ways to accomplish this and it will vary on every platform. You can manually figure it out by viewing your stocks or export your portfolio. For example, I use Merrill as my brokerage, and if you go to download account data, it gives you methods to download various data in a .csv file. You will just need to convert it to match this format. This initial step may take time, but it will be worthwhile to begin tracking your portfolio. For example, here's how I formatted my data to upload easily. So you see here I have Apple. I bought 44 shares for a cost of $5,365.47. So that's no because it was not a reinvestment. But however, I have gotten 0.1381 shares from dividend reinvestment. So my cost for that is technically zero, and it is labeled a reinvestment. So the simplest way to do this for each of your holdings would be to break it up in this format of your bought shares and your reinvested shares. And if you don't do direct dividend reinvestment, then you can just upload your bought shares. Once your spreadsheet is ready, hit Save As or download in your spreadsheet editor and save as a .csv file. Now back to the bulk upload dialog box, click Choose File. Your Computer File Explorer will be brought up. Upload the newly created .csv file. Upload Complete will be displayed under the File Uploader. Click the blue Update button. You will be able to see your upload progress displayed in the bottom right corner of the screen. Upon successful submission, the page will reload. Now you want to bulk upload your dividend history. Click Bulk Upload, select Account from the drop-down menu, choose the type of bulk upload, select Bulk Dividends. You will need to create a .csv file containing your dividends. Now you will need to format your spreadsheet. You should look to my provided example labeled Bulk Dividends. Column A is the stock ticker, examples being T, AAPL, and PEP. Column B is the dollar amount of the dividend. This should be a number and can include decimals. Do not enter the $ before the number. Column C is the date you received your dividend. This date should be formatted as the 4-number year, 2-number month, followed by the 2-number day. For example, 2021 11-01. You will obtain this data from your brokerage. There are multiple ways to accomplish this, and it varies on every platform. Your data will likely have a way to export your dividend activity. So for example, I use Merrill, and you can go to Download Account Data, select your account, choose Spreadsheets and Text, click on Activity, then you can filter to only dividends, and then you can do all downloadable activity. Select as a CSV file, and then you can download all of your dividend history. So for example, I'll download one, so it gives you the date, the symbol, and the dollar amount. So you just need to reformat this for all your data. This initial step will take a little time, but it will be worthwhile to track your full dividend history. Once your spreadsheet is ready, hit Save As or download in your spreadsheet editor and save as a .csv file. Now back to the bulk upload dialog box. Click Choose File. Your computer file explorer will be brought up. Upload the newly created .csv file. Upload complete will be displayed under the file uploader. Click the blue Update button. You will be able to see your upload progress displayed in the bottom right corner of the screen. Upon successful submission, the page will reload and your data will be displayed. This bulk upload strategy is the best way to get all of your historical data into the system. However, once you have your data in, it will be easier to add future investments and future dividends one at a time. To add stocks, click Add Investment. Select the account from the drop-down menu. Select a stock using the picker labeled stock symbol. Enter the total number of shares purchased. Enter the total cost to acquire those shares. This is not the cost per share. It is the total cost. Check the box if you bought these shares via dividend reinvestment. Leave unchecked if you purchased them outright. Click Update. Upon successful submission, the page will reload. Now to add a new dividend, you click Add Dividend, select Account from the drop-down menu, select a stock using the picker labeled stock symbol, enter the dollar amount of the earned dividend, make this a pure number and do not enter the dollar symbol, select a date from the calendar picker. This should be the date that you received your dividend. Click Update. Upon successful submission, the page will reload. And once you have your data in, you're good to go. You can use this to track your portfolio the same way I do. The website will constantly be improving and new features will always be coming out.